Welcome to the 20 Minutes of Influence podcast. I'm your host, Greg Jameson. With me today is a good friend and an absolute expert when it comes to doing videos. Now, this podcast is kind of the first of where I really wanted the podcast to be from the very beginning. And because I've got Anthony Prichard with me here today, we're doing this with a video as well as going to continue to do the audio portion of the podcast for those that simply like to listen to the podcast on iTunes or iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to podcasts. So you'll be able to continue to listen to the podcast as you always have, but from this very moment forward, we are going to be doing videos on all future podcasts here as well. So heads up to anybody that wants to be on the podcast, you're going to be on camera. And the way that we're doing this is actually with a program called Zoom that allows us to do a recording where I am at the location that I choose to be in, and the guest is at the location that they choose to be in. So that's what we're doing. Anthony, why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners and now viewers a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Greg, thanks for having me on. I love that you're creating this opportunity to collaborate because it's the number one best way to build any or develop any business. It's just by creating more connections. And naturally, I'll be introducing you to my followers, and you'll be introducing me to yours. And what happens when that takes place is that all my followers see a better value at being connected to me because I'm introducing them to influencers like you and vice versa. And so whenever I get the opportunity to come on a podcast, I take it. And I'm standing in my living room right now as I'm wearing my Magisto t-shirt that represents what I do for businesses. Right now I have 12 on my roster, everything from dentists and sleep clinics and garage door service companies, real estate agents, yoga studios, massage locations, and I basically sign them up for the Anthony Prichard Video of the Month Club. And where I come into their business for an hour or two, we make a 1-minute video, and then I distribute that 1-minute video to their target demographic. And I'm always making the video designed for one person, which is their avatar or their most profitable persona. And when I do that, Greg, when I cast that 1-minute video to a 5-mile radius around their business, they see an increase in the number of clients that they have coming in the door. That's the business development component that they're looking for. And I also teach other people how to do it for themselves. So that's where I would also be wanting to create online video courses like many of my clients. And so there's 3 levels of my business. The first is the training. The second is the monthly recurring or retainer businesses that retain me. And the third is the global business model that we're all after, which is the video trainings that we can all offer to people that we influence.
Awesome. So Anthony's business is all based around being the video guru of the greater Denver area and the world, as he was saying, globally. Yeah. So we're going to talk a lot about video here today in our 20 minutes together. And I kind of personally want to start out with people kind of getting over the fear of being on camera and doing their own videos. I know that that's something that both Anthony and I have run into before. We've done some other videos together, and Anthony's not bashful. He goes up and talks to anybody on the street and tries to get them to be on video, which is actually kind of humorous because a lot of people don't like to be on camera.
I mean, I'd say a third of the people are like, no.
Yeah, and I've had guests, as you and I have discussed, I've had guests on here where I've, like I said, I've been trying to do the podcast as a video podcast simultaneously, and they're like, no, I don't have my makeup on or whatever. Well, that's about to change, folks. Video is here to stay. And obviously, if you don't like to be on camera, there are some other things that you can do where you can create videos without you being on camera. And I'm actually going to show this because this is something that I want to talk about here as well too, and that is getting on page 1 of Google. But I'm going to actually share my screen real quick. And when I do that, you will see that I have here can you see the screen, Anthony? Making sure we're good here.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. So this is just a Google search engine, and I'm going to type in Pakistan baskets.
Oh, cool.
Now, Pakistan baskets, I actually made a video for a customer that appears here on page 1 of Google, and you can see I made that clear back in 2010. We are recording this in 2018, so 8 years later, and that video is still showing up on page 1 of Google. The power of putting a video out on YouTube and linking that back to your website is absolutely astronomical. People ask me all the time, how can I get on page 1 of Google? Well, folks, this is how you do it. You create a video, you link it back to your website, and as long as your website and that video are talking about the same thing, you are very likely to get your information out there where people can see it. And can you imagine if you actually did that for every single product that you sell? You could basically dominate the world.
Yeah.
But this video...
You're doing it with a keyword that is universally searchable. Like I focus on, like, for example, the local geography, which is Pakistan baskets in Denver, Colorado, or something like that. But you've done it at a much higher level, and I've got to commend you for getting that on the first page of Google globally.
And the thing is it works. It works consistently time after time. Now, the reason why it works here and why this has actually been set up where it is still showing up is because people aren't using video. No one else is making a video about Pakistan baskets. So it's still there. I did another video for this same customer on ironwood figurines. And when I do a search on that, as we scroll down, there is a video on this page, and it's not his. But here's the reason why, okay? This one was put out in 2016. If we actually jump over to the videos page, his video, which was again made in 2010, is the number 2 video that's listed there.
Yeah.
So the reason why we've got this other ironwood figurines video ahead of his and the one showing up on the first page is you do have to take into account how recent you have put the video out. An 8-year-old video versus a 2-year-old video,
Right.
Google's going to go with the most recent one. But here's the thing, whether it be the Pakistan baskets or the ironwood figurines baskets, I'm not on the video. My customer's not on the video. We're just doing a video about the product. So that was kind of the point, is that you don't have to actually appear on the video. If you've got something that you want to show that instead of your face.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a way to practice and to get better. You know, people are going to naturally build trust with you the fastest if they can see you and see your body language. But, you know, you don't have to start there. You can warm up to that, and you can try some things to increase your practice so that it's not so foreign or alien to be on video.
Yep, absolutely. And one thing about video, this is clearly a process to try things, is like right now it appears my screen's frozen. I don't know if it appears that way to you, Anthony.
That screen's frozen too. Maybe, there we go. I think it just resolved.
Okay, mine is not resolved. I am still showing myself as being frozen here.
Hey, do you see the gallery button in the upper right-hand corner? Gallery view? Speaker view?
I do.
Yeah, yours is frozen in gallery view.
Okay, you're on.
Yeah. Well, if I'm on, then I can go ahead and start my demonstration of some great little ways that you can practice using video on your smartphone. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that. And I'll make it here so that you are the primary deal. And yeah, go ahead and show your stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm going to share my screen. You see my...
and I think I'm back too.
Oh yeah, you're back. Cool. Well, so the thing that I'm going to use is called... I'm going to show you my phone screen, Greg. And I'm going to use an app called Screen Mirror. And it's going to give me this QR code. Well, you can see my phone here. I'm just going to press this button in the lower right-hand corner. And then it's going to give me, oops, this commercial. It's going to give me a QR code reader. And then I'm going to point that at my camera's, my computer screen. And then it's going to allow me to show you what I'm doing on my smartphone. And the one we're talking about is the one right here on the lower left-hand side, right above the phone icon.
And this is obviously really cool for anybody that's listening to the podcast too that can't see it, is to be able to mirror your phone onto your computer screen is another good way of like creating a video and showing an app on your phone, for example, to create the video.
Yeah. Well, the way I think about it, Greg, is with the company-wide usage improvement. You know, we've got companies that have never given a smartphone training to their employees, but there are amazing tools on this device that can make any job easier. And if you are the leader of your company, you need to know how to train your people, and this Screen Mirror app helps me do it when I'm teaching people how to use these apps. You know, Jeffrey Gitomer said that businesses who use their smartphone better than their competitors will thrive in the new year. And the app I'm going to show you how to do is called Legend. And you saw that. I clicked that on my phone screen, the big L. You can find it in the App Store. Well, it lets you animate any text you want. So if you are making a video and you want to highlight the title of your video, or maybe the next section of your video, or talk about the 3 best things that you can do that with this little app. And so let's say, Greg, we were going to make a video on make video without getting on them. There, so I just typed that into the dashboard there, and I'll click that yellow check mark, and then the play. And now I've got probably a dozen different animations that use that sentence or that phrase, and it brings them together in an artistic way that helps you express yourself, or express what you're teaching, or describing. And you can click
or put a quote up there, a testimonial from one of your customers.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Greg knows ecom. Yeah. So this can work standalone, or this can work integrated into any videos that you make. Like I said, it's got different color themes, and you just click this little download button. See that at the bottom of my page there, and that'll turn it into a video or a GIF file, and it'll store it in your gallery, in your phone's gallery. So I can just go to the gallery, and it should be in the legend.
And obviously, once you have a video like this, you can post it up to Instagram or Facebook or wherever you're trying to get your influence out there.
Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, that must have been for the garage door company I had. They have emergency garage door service. So we're like, there's a quick little social media post of the day, and it took us, less than 5 minutes to do that.
That is awesome. We are going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we've got a whole bunch more to share with you about video, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Greg Jameson, your host of the 20 Minutes of Influence podcast, as well as the author of the best-selling book, The Influencer Effect. As a thank you for listening to this podcast, I would like to offer you a free consultation on how to utilize the power of others to market and sell on your behalf. To claim this offer, simply go to bit.ly/coachingwithgreg. There's no obligation, so go ahead, bit.ly/coachingwithgreg, and sign up for your free consultation today. Welcome back to the 20 Minutes of Influence podcast. I'm your host, Greg Jameson. With me today is Anthony Prichard, and we have been talking about video and how you can get your business on video very easily. Right before the break, we actually had Anthony demonstrate a way that you could easily create a text video in just a matter of minutes. So that is one really great way of getting on video without being seen as one particular way, in case you don't like being on camera. But there are times that you really want to be on camera. You can do things like what we're doing right now with the Zoom app to share each other and be able to talk to each other. And this is something that I think would be a really good thing for most businesses, to actually sit down and do something like this where they have a chat with their customers.
Or their vendors, Greg.
Or their vendors, either one, yeah. Just being able to, and it doesn't even have to be a 20-minute video like what we're seeing here today. It could just be a 1 or 2 minute video of, hey, this is a great new product that we have coming out. This is a great new service we've got coming out. If it is with a vendor, then maybe the vendor could be saying, why this is the best thing since sliced bread. If it's the customer, they can obviously be saying, hey, this is what I really like about your business.
Yeah. Greg, that's my mission, is to show business owners like that, companies like that video is not a big time suck. It's not a big black hole money pit. You can just record video of you doing what you're already doing anyways. And it's not going to take any more time or effort to show the world what you do. This is called social proof, evidence that you do what you say you do. And enough people aren't telling the world, the global marketplace, what they do. They're not available or accessible. But video does that instantly.
Yep. And so obviously you can do kind of pre-recorded videos. This is actually a pre-recorded video. We are not doing this live to a streaming thing like Facebook Live or whatever, but you could be doing that as well as doing live videos. And that, I think, scares people off sometimes even a little bit more, because they're like, well, what if I mess up, when I'm going live?
Right. But the real value here is the reason that it's worth it for them to invest their time and money into learning video production. I really believe it's time to double down on video for all businesses, and 99% of them don't have a good enough video production education. Is because we make this video together just like they could do with their vendors or their clients, and it's equal value for both of us. We're both getting the same value out of this time and energy that we're putting into this. I'm going to share it with my followers. I need content to share on a regular basis, and you're going to do the same thing. And that's what 99% of businesses aren't doing right now.
Yeah, as you talked about at the beginning, collaboration is absolutely huge. But even if you sit here and think about your customers, it's like if you have a 2-minute chat with your customer and you say, hey, I'm going to feature you on my social media, that customer is going to be all over that. I actually remember seeing a thing a couple years ago where Dunkin' Donuts was featuring their customer of the week in the header of their Facebook page. You can better believe that whoever was the customer of the week was plastering that all over the place.
That's a brilliant marketing idea. Yeah, it's definitely showing the influence. Yeah, and they're the star of the office for the week, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there are obviously lots of different ways of creating videos, lots of different pieces of equipment. You talked about just using your phone. There are actually a whole bunch of different software applications out there that you can use. Mm-hmm. And maybe one of the things we can do here is kind of clue some people in on what our favorite tools are for building videos and ways of doing things quickly and easily.
I've got a great example of this, and it's something that you and I are definitely going to resonate with, because there's this thing that happens with guys who are really good friends. Like, they send each other funny stuff, don't they? Like, we come across some funny email, and we're going to forward it to our circle of like 6 or 12 friends or whatever.
Yep.
And it's sort of like this tennis match that goes back and forth. I don't know if girls do that, but I know guys do it all the time. So here's one that you're going to love. I'm going to open up the Screen Mirror app again. Well, first I'm going to share my screen. All right, so this one is called FX Guru. And you guys just saw how I get into my phone there. So if I go over here to FX Guru, there it is, and I open this up, I'm going to pull a prank on my buddy if I'm over at his house, okay? So let's say I'm over at my buddy's house, and I use this app, right? And see that one in the upper left-hand corner, that bad dog one?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to let this dog in the house, and it's going to pretend to pee on my buddy's furniture, maybe his prized rug or something. And then I'm going to send it to him, and he's going to freak out. It's a real dog. All right, so you ready for this? Okay, here we go. I'm going to use the bookshelf over there. There's perfect. Right there. Okay. All right, so ready? And I can move my phone around too, and I'm going to point my finger. Oh my gosh. Mark, look at that dog. Holy cow, dude. No. Bruno, don't do that. No, don't do. Oh, dude, that's screwed up. Okay, so let's see what it does. You ready for this? I'm going to go for medium quality because I don't want it to take too long. And I'm not going to use any effects because I want it to look like it was just my smartphone. And so, yeah, it spits out this cool custom video. Oh, I don't want to cancel. Looks like it's already got a preview there. Here we go. Oh, look, my hand screwed it up. I'm going to have to re-record that.
And as long as it's at your house and not mine, right?
Okay, wait. I got to go back and re-record.
So are there any business applications to that, or is that just a prank thing?
All right. There are a lot of business things, Greg, that can be applied with video. But before you really invest your time and energy and effort into business video, I think you have to justify to yourself that you're a good video communicator. And that requires spending a little time to use apps like the one I just showed you and have fun with it. Because if it's not a fun experience, I don't think you're going to do it. I mean, if you dread it already, then doing it, and grinding it out even more is not going to be enjoyable for you, and you're not going to do it. But if it's fun, then I think you're going to have a different attitude.
Yeah, and that's true with anything that we do in business, right? You have to make it fun so that you will keep doing it.
Yeah.
One of the pieces of software that I know that I use a lot is Format Factory. And Format Factory is a free program, but it will convert any one video format into any other. And the reason why you might want to use that is that the MP4 video format is the quickest one to upload to pretty much anything, whether it be Facebook or YouTube or whatever. It's a smaller file size, and it just uploads faster. So if you are creating a movie with, a WMV Windows Media video file, or an MOV file, or in any of these other formats, maybe some of the formats that come straight out of various video cameras, you can just run it through Format Factory, and in a matter of a minute or two, it will convert a pretty good sized video into an MP4 file, and then you can upload that. Any other tools that you can think of that would really benefit people?
Well, yeah, Greg, I don't know how much time we have left, but I am the only certified Magisto partner in the state of Colorado. So I would love to take you on a tutorial of that app if you'd like to see it.
Okay, well, I don't know if we have that kind of time today. Maybe we can do another one of these here in the not too distant future. But that's actually a good segue then, maybe, of how people can get a hold of you so that they can continue a conversation with you.
Yeah, well, my name is findable on the Google search engine. And I think that's maybe one of the best ways to learn about someone is by typing their name into the Google search engine, especially if there's somebody like you or me, Greg, who our job is to get other people to show up there. So there's a collection of videos, or maybe you just want to go straight to my website, which is hard to remember. It's my full name without a T in the last name, anthonyprichard.com. And, I'd like to just do one thing and make an offer for my invention. I'm an inventor. I made the mobile studio stick. It's the least expensive, fully comprehensive, smallest video production studio in the world. And it helps anyone make a video 10 times easier. And that's what I'm all about, is making video easier. So I figured I'd offer that at the end. And of course, if you have any questions, just use the contact resource there, and I'll answer your questions in 24 hours.
Awesome. And I'll put that link in the show notes here as well. So thanks, everyone, for joining us on this episode of 20 Minutes of Influence.